Friedrich Froebel and kindergarten. Friedrich Froebel was a German educator who focused on children's learning. His life as an instructor began in 1805 after he accepted a post at a secondary school in Frankfurt, Germany. During his lifetime, he worked in both Germany and Switzerland and was strongly influenced by Swiss educator Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi. Froebel additionally wrote and published numerous pamphlets and books on his educational theories and is best remembered today as the creator of kindergarten. Froebel's childhood was the primary influence on his desire to see the establishing of a place for young children to play and grow. As a young boy, Froebel grew up near the Thuringia forest in Germany and had a devout Christian upbringing, which instilled in him a love of nature and a belief in the interconnectedness of all living things. Froebel was a poor student as a child, which may have inspired him to desire to assist others like him. He had great difficulty with languages and writing but excelled at math, especially geometry. That inspired him to find employment first as a forest land surveyor and later in the field of architecture, but in 1805, he abruptly decided to switch careers and accepted a teaching position in Frankfurt. Fortunately for Froebel, the school at which he was employed was one of the first outside Switzerland to utilize the methods of Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi. This famed individual, who helped Switzerland become one of the first nations in Europe to achieve nearly 1% literacy, believed that children had an enormous capacity and desire to learn. His style allowed children to explore their natural curiosity rather than having them sit for hours while listening to lectures and learning by rote methods. After concluding his tenure at the school, Froebel would later spend 2 years in Switzerland, where he worked closely with Pestalozzi. There, Froebel came up with the theory that would influence him for the remainder of his career. He concluded that all children needed to play so that they could be educated by using physical movements and imaginative powers. In 1816, he opened a school in Thuringia to put his theories into practice. At that time, there was no formal education for German children younger than 7, so Froebel's school was revolutionary. By taking young children and developing their minds and bodies, Froebel hoped to plant the seeds for future success in education and life in them. At Froebel's school, singing and dancing were used to encourage healthy activities in children. He also developed a series of geometric building blocks, today called Froebel gifts, that the children played with and used to understand geometry and to develop spatial awareness. A third aspect of his educational style was to allow the children to work in a garden, where they could watch plants grow and learn to care for them. In 1837, Froebel created a new school in Bad Blankenburg in Thuringia, which, in 1840, he began calling a kindergarten, or children's garden. The term developed from his notion that a school should be a place for children to learn and grow, much like a garden is. The success of Froebel's school won him countless admirers, who spread his ideas following his death in 1852. Today, the necessity of early childhood education is believed by people throughout the world, thereby showing how influential Froebel's theories have become over time.